Hi, this is Kim Childs with the Kim Childs team here at Keller Williams Realty. And today I just want to talk about 6 things that you could do to help update your home even when you're not getting ready to sell. These are things that you can do and you can just stay in your home and enjoy them. And then at the point that you do decide you want to sell your home, you will have enjoyed these updates and you'll also be ready to get on the market. So the first thing that I would throw out is you might want to consider how your home looks from the front, just like a buyer does. So go out front, walk down the street, take a look at your home, and ask yourself, what would a buyer see and what can you do differently? And things that come to mind for me are to improve your landscaping slightly. You don't really get a return on dollars if you redo the entire front yard typically, but if you cut back bushes, if you planted some color, if you power washed the walkway, maybe paint the front door and the trim, put a couple pots of flowers there, that kind of thing. Just make it feel very welcoming. The second thing you want to ask yourself is, when I go inside, how does my home feel? Because when we live there, we get used to everything. We don't really look around with a critical eye. But you're probably going to open houses anyway just because you like looking at homes. Ask yourself, what can I do to make my home feel as appealing as possible when I walk inside? And one of the things is you want the areas and the rooms to feel as large as possible. And a lot of times when you live in a home, you tend to bring more and more things in. And pretty soon you have a table on every wall and a lamp on that table and a picture over it, and you look around and it's just cram packed. So one of the things that you can do is literally take out about a fourth to a third of the furniture that you have and just pare back. And when you do that, I did that myself in my home before I sold it. It felt so good and so open and so welcoming. So that can really make a huge difference. Another thing that you want to do is have the home feel as neutral as possible, because I know sometimes when we're living there, we think we need color and we want to, paint this wall this color and paint that wall that color. Well, when you get a neutral palette, it's very calming, it's very relaxing. And what you find is you can accessorize and use color in that way. So I would highly recommend that you go around with a critical eye, again, looking at some of these open houses and how those things are presented, and then using that in your own home. Another easy thing, a lot of times if we have an older home, we have hardwood floors, but they probably have that kind of honey oak color, from the 80s and 90s that a lot of us had. And that's kind of out now. Oak's really not the preferred wood floor anymore. One thing for sure you can probably do is maybe consider refinishing those. But another thing is, if you're going to refinish, you might want to stain them a different color. So if you have dark cabinets in the kitchen, stain them a lighter color. If you have lighter cabinets in the kitchen, white or light, stain them a darker color. And this can really contribute to the overall effectiveness of how your home shows. Another easy thing is to take a look at your lighting. And of course, back in the 80s and 90s, brass lighting was everywhere. In some of these subdivisions, the builders would just buy 100 of the same chandelier and put it in every entryway. Well, it's easy to update the feeling of the home, and you can enjoy it yourself when you go out and buy some new fixtures. And you don't have to replace every single thing that's brass, although you can if you want. But sometimes my stager will say that bronze actually plays really well with brass. So let's say in the bathroom you have a brass fixture, you can put a bronze light fixture above the mirror, and those two actually can really play well together, and it can really update the look of the bathroom. The last thing that I'll mention is wallpaper. Interestingly enough, wallpaper is kind of coming back in, but it's not the preferred wall covering, I would just say. And part of that is that wallpaper is very, very individual. If it has a design, if it has flowers, if it's plaid, there's just a lot to it. And it's not as well loved universally as paint is. So one of the things that you can do that will really make a difference is take down some of that wallpaper. It's a little labor intensive, and then paint some neutral colors, and you will just be amazed at how more updated the home can feel with the wallpaper down and neutral colors up. If you have any questions about anything real estate related, give me a call. It would be my my pleasure to just answer any questions you may have. But these are some things that I actually did to my home, and my husband and I were able to enjoy it for another 4 or 5 years before we sold it. And I highly recommend you think about doing it. And the nice thing is, then when you're ready to sell, it's ready to go, and you don't have to scurry around and pull everything together last minute. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you. Bye.